Hello everyone, I'm Rebecca and welcome back to my channel. If you are watching this video as it's coming out, that means you're attending CoCoVid, and that's really awesome. I'm super excited to be involved in CoCoVid, which if you haven't heard of it and you're finding this video just as one of my subscribers, or maybe you've just stumbled on this, it's most of the costumers that are out there have all gotten together to put together, I think there's about 100 videos that are all learning-based videos, kind of so that we can do our own online virtual costume college since that has been canceled this year. So I'm super excited to take part. There's a lot of other events as well, but you are here for the learning, and I'm so excited for that. Today, with this video, you are going to learn how to style a wig. Specifically, this wig is going to be a sort of 1890s meets Edwardian Elsa. And it's not going to be historically accurate, but we're just gonna kind of play around and see what we can get this wig to do in the hopes that we can get it to do this style right here. This is beautiful artwork. I'm working on this project right now, and this is by the user Gebrewerstein. I will link her down below on Instagram. She has just done the most amazing artwork of 1890s Frozen characters. So there's a whole group of us that are costumers that are doing her various pieces of artwork, bringing them to life as costumes, and you will see more of that in August and September as those videos start to come out. So this is the Spirit Dress Elsa, the very end of Frozen 2, and that's what I'm doing with this wig today. Now, I've styled several wigs in the past, both historical and non-historical, in fact several Disney wigs as well, and I've also done it for theatrical purposes because I am an actor, so I've styled wigs both for myself and for other people for theater. So my approach to wig styling is kind of to wing it and just see what happens and what you can get and what you can create. Now, I'm loving this wig base that we are starting with. She is just gorgeous, isn't she? Nice and long, beautiful platinum blonde curls. I got this wig on Amazon. It's an M style wig. I will link it down below. I love the M style wigs. This is my third one, I think. I just think that they're so well made. They're lace front, which is this band that you're seeing right here. That's going to get cut away, but it's lace front, and that means that it blends really well into your face, so it doesn't look like you've got that big old wig line that you can see on non-lace front wigs that don't have bangs. So, and to me, that's always like, oh, that wig line, we don't want that. So I'm using this gorgeous lace front wig, again from M Style, and we're going to see what kind of style we can do. Now, one of the things that you have to keep in mind with wigs as opposed to your own hair is that you really don't want to be using a lot of product, because that is just going to sit there and get really gross and nasty in the wig. So I would recommend really probably just using hairspray to finish and not that much of it, only if you really need to. You can clean wigs, but it's just a process and it's so hard to have to go through all that. So I highly recommend using as little product as possible. And you can also curl wigs, like by boiling them, sometimes also with curling irons. But one of the reasons that I bought a curly wig is so that I hopefully won't have to do that. So I'm hoping this will be a really quick and easy, maybe not quick, but at least an easy updo tutorial for this Edwardian hairstyle. As you can see, I have this wig set up on a headstand, which is a canvas form. I think it has like a plastic base. It's really quite a sturdy form. And then I'm using a clamp base, which clamps to the table, and I can position this by loosening and tightening to angle the wig, but it does a really pretty good job of holding everything in place. So if you're going to be doing wig styling, I highly recommend having some sort of a setup like this, because if you try to do wig styling on a styrofoam head, you are going to hate everything. So don't do that. At the very least, have a styrofoam head that you can put on a clamp of some sort. It's also pinned in place with a T-pin. So the really evident thing with this hairstyle is this lovely swoop that's going on in the front of the hair. So that's going to be the first thing that I'm focusing on. I'm also going to put a pin down here at the base and then also on the other side to secure that and hold it in place. One thing that I think you need to pay attention to a lot is not to style the wig too tightly, because this head form is probably smaller than your head, especially because you have hair generally to tuck up inside of the wig. So don't style your wig too tightly unless you have a very small head, or else you are going to wind up with a wig that, although it fits here, does not fit on your head. One of the things that I like about the ImStyle wigs is that they all come with these wig brushes, as well as wig caps, and usually a little bag to keep the wig in, so that is nice. So I'm going to just brush out this front section here a little bit. And I'm going to put a few more pins right at the hairline so that it stops moving. Now I want to get that swoop. So I'm only going to swoop with the top section because I think otherwise it's going to get too heavy. So this section is going to be pulled back. Doing a little bit of teasing with my teasing brush on the inside. The nice thing about these wigs too is that they're so thick that if you need to actually take some of the hair, like some of the length of hair, and roll it up as a rat, you can do that with its own hair. Wish I had hair that thick. So can I just tell you, the hardest part about being a costumer is that I am very much an experimental costumer, and that comes down to sewing and to stuff like wig styling. So trying to do this right the first time on film is weird. And you know what? That's what most of us do. Everything is kind of an experiment, and you never know when things are going to go right or things are going to go wrong. So I'm starting over because it didn't look right at all. And one of the things that I really noticed is that I sectioned out too much hair in the front, so it just wasn't working with me. So I have now sectioned out a smaller portion of hair, and I think it's going to work. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So yeah, let's get back to the hairstyling. I'm starting with a small section of hair, which I'm twisting around and forming a loop, and I'm then going to pin in place through the base of the loop as if I'm doing a victory roll. Such a better loop, I think. I feel like it's not high enough on her head, but it's closer. If you stay till a certain point in the video, which I'm not going to tell you when, you will be able to collect badges for all of the classes that you take at CoCoVid. So I have stuck a badge QR code and information about that somewhere in the course of this video, and if you watch the whole thing, you will get a badge for watching this video. So a lot of people are trying to collect as many badges as they can, and there's going to be one for I think every video basically that's being put out. So that's pretty cool. Watch the video and download your badge. Here I've been making rats out of the sections of the wig that are just behind the front. So I've done a small rat right at the top of the head and then pulled the hair over in front of that to make the poof in the center. And I've done the same thing over here on the side, making a larger rat and pulling the side hair over that rat. This side section is then pinned in place in the back of the head with crossed bobby pins. Now I'm going to do the same thing around the rest of the sides of the head. On this side, I'm using the fluffy tail ends from our little swirl as a sort of rat, and I'm pulling the hair in front of it that's on the side of the head over that fluffy bit to give it more volume. All right, I think this is pretty much the front look that I'm going for, so second time's the charm. This again is the inspiration image, and then that is the front of the wig. So my swoop maybe isn't quite right. I think it's still supposed to be higher on the head, and I'll probably try to bring it up a little higher. I am swiftly running out of bobby pins, which is a little worrisome, because I'm gonna have to maybe go scrounge around my house to find some bobby pins, but it's looking much better. Yeah, even that is just a little bit better with it higher on the head. So now we get to do the back. Now, the reason that I stuck crossed bobby pins in here, first off, you always want to cross your bobby pins, especially with a wig, because a wig hair is much heavier than most human hair, and the cross bobby pins allows it to really hang in place better. But the thing is that we're going to be covering this up with lovely Edwardian floof anyway, so I really didn't care that my bobby pins were showing. Let's go ahead and start pinning up the back. Now, Edwardian hair is really messy was nice. So the curls are such a great base because I can kind of just pin them up wherever, as long as I still get like a soft sort of round halo effect underneath, then it will all be fine. So that is what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to do it to begin with from this side because I want to make sure that I still get make it look like I have hair at the bottom. I have been the victim in theater of several wigs where they just pulled it all up and then your hair looks like it starts halfway up your head. So that's not the look we're going for here. So we're just gonna take little pieces at a time and start incorporating them. I'm pinning just flat underneath with one pin since these are smaller sections, and I'm going to hide them with the curls afterwards. This is where I really wish that I had hairpins, because getting anything to look loose and soft, it's much easier done with hairpins. And I do have like two. This is a hairpin, by the way, as opposed to a bobby pin. I do have a couple, but I really wish I had more. See how nice that looks? Well, I managed to find a few hairpins, so hopefully that will be enough. I'm going to use one of them for this top section right here. The trick with hairpins is that you kind of have to go in two directions at a time. So you go one way first and then you push it back underneath, grabbing the base hair so that it will stay in place, because otherwise it will just release. Again, I'm using some hair to make little base rolls around the bottom that will give the outer layer of hair something to build over. We're almost done with the hair. I feel like I need a little more body over here, so I'm just going to pull it out a little. So now I only have curls remaining, so I'm going to really focus those curls being kind of up on the crown of the head. Really the best method for this is to use nice long hairpins, and unfortunately all I could find were little baby short ones, but it will work. That should be it. Now all that's left is to cut away the lace and try on the wig and make sure that everything feels secure. To cut away the lace, use a nice sharp scissors like a sewing scissors and cut pretty close to the hairline. You want to leave only like no more than 1/4 of an inch around. I do tend to leave a little bit more right over where like my sideburns are, because going from darker hair to sideburn, I just feel like that extra little bit of lace helps to hide that. But then again, I also tend to wear lace front wigs in a theatrical setting where you cannot see the lace very well. So I may cut that away as well, but I'm not going to yet. Remove the pins from the area that you are cutting, but be sure to put them in afterwards as you go, at least over the temples and at the top of the forehead, or your wig will just fall off the stand. If, like on this wig, you have a widow's peak and you feel like you're having a hard time getting up to the hairline, an curved applique scissors is going to work really nicely. That's the first pass of cutting. Now I'll try it on and see where I need to cut these side bits. If I was doing this for a theatrical setting, I would go through and I would, depending on the intensity of the show and how many wig changes I have, I would go through and I would either pin curl my hair, or I would do like 2 pigtail French braids and wrap the braids up, and that way you really have something to pin your wig into. Since I am just putting this wig on for a video and then I'm taking it off again, I'm not going to do that. Maybe I'll do that in a future video. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments. For today, I am literally just going to take my hair. My hair is really thin, so it actually goes under a wig pretty decently. I'm going to twist it around in a little coil and pin that coil a couple times, like a little ballet bun. Then I'm going to put on the most unflattering thing probably ever, a wig cap. I know, such style, right? This is clearly a very used wig cap that I've probably used in a show because it's totally torn, so I probably shouldn't have used this one. I like to pin my wig cap in place over my ears because, as you can see, it's already trying to pull away. And I also will pin it in the back at the base of my hair, usually with 2 pins. It's not great, but it should work. Now we carefully take our wig and I always start front first. Make sure you've positioned the front of your wig so you know where it is. There we go. Got that widow's peak. And position that in the center. And then pull the rest of the wig down over your hair. Got a lot of volume with this wig. I'm using my monitor as a mirror, please excuse me. I really love these really narrow pins for the temples. But you are going to want to pin your lace over the temple. and then put in wig pins. Now, I've shown these wig pins before. These are fantastic. I will link a source to them down below. They are 4-inch wig pins, and this is what you're going to want to do to pin your wig in. Now, I won't really have much to pin into with these wig pins because I didn't do pin curls or braid, and that's really the purpose of that. It's so that you have something to pin into. I'm going to do it anyway just to show you how to do it. So you kind of put it in here facing forward, and then lean it back. Ideally, you're doing it in a place where A, you have a pin curl, and B, it doesn't really show. So you want to do it like underneath a tuft of hair, for example. So like over here, I think I will do it kind of within the swoop. But again, there's really nothing for them to pin into right now. And then you do the same thing down at the back, the kind of where your base of your neck is, and you just go up your hair. I'm seeing a lot of my hair over here. Sorry, I'm using my monitor as a mirror, which I don't love. So I think I'm actually going to, same with over here, I think I'm actually going to take some of the hair and bring it a little bit lower, but I need to go grab a mirror for that. Okay, so I'm going to try to fix like this part being way too pulling up. The fact that everything is just kind of like, I don't know, it's very far forward and a little too wide up top. And also this is obviously pulling way too far up. So I have a lot to fix, but sometimes, you know, you don't know until you put it on. Well, I thought I could do it without completely pulling it down. The dangerous thing about styling it on your head, which is why I don't do it that way to begin with, is that you typically wind up pinning into your wig cap and or your hair. So not recommended. I'm trying to pull the hair up a lot looser this time and paying particular attention to attempting to not stick any of the pins through the wig into my wig cap, because then you have to do this all over again. It's particularly hard with this kind of color difference going from my fairly dark hair to hair that is really so light, especially because my hair does tend to grow farther out towards my neck than any wig will ever cover. Congrats, you found the badge. Scan this QR code or enter this claim code at the Badgecraft website. Link and instructions are below in the description. Now back to the video. That is definitely an improvement over before. Now with a wig that is this light colored, I don't usually glue my lace, but with a wig that is this light colored, with my hair, my roots in particular being quite dark, I probably would actually put some glue for the lace. And so you just glue right underneath the lace line, and that way it really stays in place. I might even double wig cap for this because it's just so lighter than my hair. The one thing left to do is to cut off some of this excess over the ears, because as you can see, it's kind of wrinkling up. So let's cut off a little bit of that, being careful not to cut a wig or my own hair. Better. And now I have a lovely sort of Edwardian style Elsa wig. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I do hope it was helpful. If you liked this video, please go ahead and click the thumbs up icon. And if you'd like to see more videos from me, please go ahead and click subscribe and the little bell icon to be notified every time I post a video. I post videos on here normally once a week, but this is the second of 3 videos this weekend for CoCoVid. So there's lots of content coming at you, I know, from everyone. I do have a playlist down in the description, and I'll link it right up above as well, that will link to hopefully every CoCoVid video that's going on. Again, I know there's a whole lot. Also, make sure to check out the various Instagram hashtags. Tonight or today that's going on, there is the red carpet. So I will put that hashtag down below. Go over on Instagram and check that out. While you're on Instagram, go ahead and follow me at Lady Rebecca Fashions. I post there once a day, if not more so. And I hope you're having a whole lot of fun, both with my video and with everyone else's videos with CoCoVid. And if you're watching this in the future, go through that playlist and find all sorts of really fun content that you can educate yourself with to do with costuming. So again, I hope you had a wonderful time with this video. Have a fantastic day. Happy sewing!